If you see athletes, if you see a Saturday golfer going out, before they play a game, they will exercise. They will start moving the muscles, moving their body, so that when they're actually involved in the sport, they don't hurt themselves. And yet, very, very rarely do I ever see anyone who works on television or radio exercise their biggest tool, their voices. They think they can just go in and start. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can't. You shouldn't. Because in the end, you're going to do yourself damage. You're going to do your voice damage by not exercising. You're going to trip over words. Because we read a script, we'll get the news late, and suddenly we'll see a word and we'll trip over it. Why? Because we haven't woken up our teeth and our tongue and our lips. All of those are vitally important to doing our job to the best way we can. So there are a number of exercises on here on the MP3 that you can play. They are vocal exercises that just are like a warm-up. These are things that we should do in the car going towards the studio. There are things that we can do in the loo, in the John, we can do them anywhere. We can just do these exercises. My own particular one is a lovely lady called Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock is a lovely lady who helps me with my voice, because before I do anything on television, on radio, I will just say her name 3 times. Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock. Something that you would seem to be very easy to do. You just try it. And I'll give you a bonus if you can actually do it the first time and do it with any speed. And then when you start speeding up, Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock, Peggy Babcock, it's going to trip you up. And that's cool. It will trip you up. It gets those teeth and tongue working. There are other things on the MP3, mammony, memony, mimony, mobbony, mummony. Why is that important? Just loosening up all around these lips so that they can get themselves around any difficult words. Because above all, I've said to you on many times that to be a good host, you have to be yourself. You have to be natural. You have to be the best you can possibly be. But that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't work at it. It's no good waking up in the morning and just dropping out of bed and thinking you can be the best host there. No, you can't. You've got to exercise so that when you do speak to people, you're totally in control of your teeth, your tongue, the roof of the mouth, and your lips. All of those combined to make you clear to your audience. And let's be honest, it's all very well. We all see ourselves in a particular way. Oh, you think, no, I'm not that sort of person. I'm not that sort of host. I'm more way out than you are. I'm hipper. I'm cooler. Wonderful. I want you to find your own style. But within that style, the number one thing is you have to be understood by the people who are listening and watching you. I don't care what style. You may never wear a tie in your life, may never wear a suit in your life. That's great, that's cool. You may do your hair in a crazy way. Brilliant. But you've still got to be understood by the people who are listening and watching you. And if you're not, then why are we doing the job? We're supposed to be communicators. Now, you wouldn't think much of an athlete who got out of bed and thought they could run a mile. You'd think, what a crazy person. What do they think they're doing? They're going to ruin their body. They're going to snap some muscles. They're going to have tendons that are going to be hurting for days and weeks afterwards. Exactly the same way in hosting. You can't expect to just at 9 o'clock in the morning, I worked through the night. I was the Mr. Midnight of one television station. And you have to work to get that voice well modulated, well understood. All of that time, it's a long time to go through the night. And all sorts of things happen to your body in that time. That's why you have to be careful about what's happening here. So please, again, use those exercises. Your particular one, you will find one that really says something to you. Step, step, stip, stop, stop. There's another great one for just getting the lips, the teeth, the tongue, all to work, to wake them up. That's what you do. We're just waking up the body so that when we are presenting, when we are hosting, we don't have to worry about anything. This isn't just applicable to when you're hosting on radio or television. It can also be if you're making a presentation in a corporate situation. Now, if you were doing that, you're making a presentation, you'd make sure that the computer was switched on, you'd make sure that everything was working properly. Of course you do that. These are basics. So why don't we apply the same to ourselves? We have to make sure that we're switched on, that we're working correctly. That's why doing these exercises to wake up your teeth and tongue is vital to being the best you possibly can be.